Seems like since the beginning of this year, all we've really spoken about is this fourth industrial revolution and how we adapt to it, not only as South Africa, but as the continent as well. But I know that it's been around and we've been talking about it for a while, but it seems that the heat has been turned up in 2019. So Microsoft's first data center in Africa have been opened in Johannesburg and Cape Town. It's called Microsoft Azure. It aims to help drive investment and significant growth in line with both the continent's digital transformation objectives and the realization of new economic opportunities. To tell us more about this, we are joined in studio and, of course, discuss how it affects ordinary South Africans and businesses. We have with us Microsoft South Africa's Managing Director, Lillian Barnard. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Welcome to the studio. Okay, so let's just, I suppose, get a better definition of what Microsoft Azure actually is.
So yesterday we launched our first data centers, and we call it data center regions, and one is in Johannesburg and Cape Town. And we have specifically launched Microsoft Azure because we have three clouds, Office 365 as well as Dynamics 365. So let me just break it down for you in terms of what is Microsoft Azure. So Azure gives organizations the ability to build digital businesses at scale. So basically organizations can now get infrastructure as a service as well as platform as a service available, and they can literally go and innovate. If you basically think in terms of what's happening with technology today, typically, you know, companies have to buy infrastructure, they have to buy hardware, software, and services, and we are literally making all of that available to companies today with our Microsoft Azure platform.
Yeah. So if we talk about the advantages to businesses, what is it? I mean, we obviously, as you're saying, it's all now under one roof, but explain a little bit more about the benefits of something like this to a business, particularly.
So this is all about innovation. So companies will be able to innovate. They'll be able to do that at scale. They'll be able to do that much faster. So anything that they could do, for example, we have worked with Peace Parks, and we have got a beautiful video where he talked about, you know, this used to take us 2 weeks to do. With the Microsoft Azure platform, we can literally now do this in a day. And that is the type of speeds that we're actually talking about.
Yeah. I'm looking at some numbers that I've got in front of me. A study from the Industrial Investment Corporation basically says spending on public cloud services in South Africa will triple over the next 5 years, from 4.29 billion in 2017 to 11.53 billion in 2022. And they'll only generate, you know, it'll also go and generate quite a few jobs. So talk us through this and how Microsoft is there to, I suppose, create jobs in this industry where people think you're going to be losing, but on the other side, you're saying you can actually create jobs through this.
Absolutely. So we actually commissioned the study with IDC because, you know, the constant question that we got from everybody was that, okay, the data centers will be landing in country, so what?
Yeah.
So we talked about actually that public cloud spending will triple. And you've actually just mentioned the numbers. And what does it mean for the economy? It's back to this whole point around innovation, building digital businesses at scale. And when you do that, it talks about the opportunity for us to generate net new revenues for this country to the tune of 80 billion rand. And of course, with that will come new jobs. Jobs, and from the study, it predicts that at least 112,000 new jobs could be created as a result of this opportunity. And what the Microsoft ecosystem could contribute to that is about 53,000 of those net new jobs. And that fundamentally becomes the economic impact of this multi-million rand investment.
That's huge. And I mean, but you talk about this, you talk about 80 billion rand in revenue over the next 5 years. How? How through cloud computing? For the average Joe who's sitting on the streets not kind of understanding this, how is it possible that through cloud this can be created and this amount generated?
So through cloud computing, and you know, it actually puts unlimited compute and storage power in the hands of organizations of all sizes, allowing them to innovate, allowing them to build businesses at scale. And if you just can't think what this would do to the SMME market, they could literally go online. They could literally go and be relevant almost immediately. And that is the opportunity it will bring for big business. If you think about how we look at cloud and the digital transformation opportunities that would bring, it is actually huge. So companies will be able to actually provide superior customer service. Companies will be able actually to empower their employees. They will be able to, maximize their operations and build net new services as a result of the opportunity that cloud will bring for them.
I mean, because you talk about, you talk about space and you talk about data storage, and data is the most valuable thing that any company can have at this point in time, and information, but you run out of space. So what you're saying is, this is it. This is the moment where space is now not an issue, and you can do anything with your business if you have this at your fingertips, which is a fantastic development. Now, Microsoft's also got this it's called EEIP. It's the Equity Equivalent Investment Program. It's basically finding small black-owned software product development firms. How's that been going? How's it working?
So what we did in 2011, we actually announced the first version of our Equity Equivalent Investment Program, where we said we're going to invest a percentage of the South African operation in local software independent vendors, and we did that over a period of 7 years. Fast forward to 2019, we're actually announcing the evolution of this program. And what we're basically going to do is that we want to make sure that we're creating economic opportunities for South Africa because of the shifting socio-economic needs. And what we're going to do is that we are going to take young South African software developers and making sure that we actually do skills funding. We also give them on-the-job experience to make sure that you actually create more employability. And if you think about it, Microsoft has actually played always quite a fundamental role when it comes to digital skills development, whether you're talking about basic literacy or even deep technical skills, to make sure that we continue to remain relevant for the cloud and digital era. And just to double click a bit on that, specifically what are we doing with the second version of our EIP? We are specifically going to focus on digital transformation in manufacturing, and we're also going to make sure that we give access to small-scale commercial farmers so that they can grow and also compete. And that will be underpinned by what government has already announced through the Agri-Tech Challenge and also the Black Industrialists and the Gazelle program, and we will use that as a base. And of course, in due time, we will announce more details about that as we roll it out.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on I suppose, on many things, but I have to also congratulate you on being the very first black female MD, Microsoft South Africa. And I think that's a great accolade and a big stamp for women here in South Africa. Very quickly, what's your vision for the company?
So my vision is very bold for the company, and Microsoft, our global vision is to empower every person and every organization to make sure that they achieve more, and I will make sure that I bring that to fruition here in South Africa.
Well, good luck. Good luck for that. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting to us this morning. Microsoft South Africa's Managing Director here in studio with us, Lillian Barnard, talking to us about a launch of Microsoft Azure's first data centers that have opened in Africa, and there's now one in Johannesburg as well as Cape Town. All right.